All right, guys, we are back with round one hat format at Epic Cards and Games in Hurst, Texas. We got Tyler, first time on the channel, on the left playing Spellbooks, versus Julio on the right playing Evilswarm. Julio's pretty much a regular on the channel. He's been in the finals a few times, but he's still yet to get that win. We'll see if he can get that win here today. He starts off by summoning Evilswarm Thunderbird, send 3 and pass. And Tyler starts off by activating Crescent. So Crescent, you reveal 3 Spellbook spell cards from your deck with different names. You randomly add one to your hand. I think you have to control no other spellbook. There's some like conditions to it. Yeah, you have to have no spellbook spell cards in your graveyard. And yeah, you randomly add one, and the other go back. The other 2 get shuffled back into the deck. You can only activate 1 Crescent per turn. And you can only activate, you cannot activate any spell cards this turn. You activate this card 6 spellbook spell cards. So he's playing Starhall, which is I think Starhall makes your spellcaster monsters gain attack. Yes. Each time a spellbook spell card is activated, place 1 spell counter on this card. All spellcaster type monsters you control gain 100 attack for each spell counter on this card. So he goes Secrets for Blue Boy. Yeah, Secret searches Blue Boy, I think, and then Blue Boy searches Master, or vice versa. So yeah, Secret searches a spellbook card, Blue Boy searches a spellbook spell card when it's normal summoned. Then he activates Spellbook of the Master. And Spellbook of the Master, if you control a spellcaster type monster, you can reveal 1 other spellbook spell card in your hand, then target 1 spellbook normal spell card in your graveyard except Spellbook of the Master. This card's effect becomes that target's effect. And I think all the spellbook cards have this effect where you can only activate 1 of them per turn. So I'm surprised. So here he Julio breakthrough skill to negate the effect of Blue Boy, or Spellbook Magician of Prophecy. I've always called it Blue Boy all my life, so I'm gonna keep calling it Blue Boy. So now Julio summons the normal monster for Evilswarms, and let's see what. So Tyler lets it go through. He attacks with the Thunderbird, and Tyler de-prisons the Thunderbird, but he's going to be able to chain Thunderbird's effect here. So Thunderbird, whenever a card is activated, you can banish it, and then during the next standby phase, it returns and it gains 300 attack. It's like a wind-up rabbit, except a card, an effect has to be activated. So Spellbook of Fate has 3 effects depending on, like, it's a quick play spell. If you control a spellcaster type monster, any spellcaster type monster, you can banish 1, 2, or 3, but we'll go over what happens when you banish 3 spellbook spell cards from your graveyard. You can banish any card your opponent controls, and it doesn't target. Really, really powerful card. I actually had some success with spellbooks. I made top 16 at the very first ARG Circuit Series, if you guys remember those events. So I know this deck pretty well. So here he activates Spellbook for Eternity. Adds a banished spellbook spell card to his hand. Activates Master. So he controls the spellcaster, reveals Spellbook of Life, and adds back the secrets. And he keeps gaining counters for that Starhall, which is going to boost all his spellcaster monsters. And that Thunderbird is at 19. And let's see, he has Secrets, Life, and another card in his hand. So he activates Secrets. Will he get the Tower, or what's he going to get here? Let me refresh my memory on Starhall, because the only time I remember them playing this was whenever they had Judgment Day, which is banned it was only legal for like 1 format. Yes, so anytime a spellbook spell card is activated, even in the mirror match, it matters. People used to side this in for the mirror match. All spellcaster monsters gain control 100 attack for each spell counter on this card. When this card with spell counters is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can add 1 spellcaster type monster from your deck to your hand whose level is less than or equal to the number of spell counters that were on this card. It's kind of like it can't miss timing though. So I guess he went Secrets, searched another Blue Boy. I remember Blue Boy, when it's normal summon, you can add 1 spellbook spell card from your deck to your hand. They're both at 8,000. Okay, Julio's kind of keeping track of life points, so if he does it, I'm not going to. It's just much easier if the players do it. Because I'll be missing things, especially right now because I'm explaining all the cards. Especially, this is the first time we've had spellbooks on the channel. Alright, so here he activates Power. So Power boosts 1 spellcaster type monster you control by 1,000 attack. And if that monster destroys a monster by battle, you search a spellbook spell card. I think that's what it does. Yes. Target one spellcaster on monster control. This turn against 1,000 attack, and if it does, each time it destroys an opponent's monster by battle, this turn you can add one spellbook spell card from your deck to your hand. You can activate one power per turn. Most of them have that once per turn clause. So did he attack over? I guess he banished the Thunderbird and then hits him for what? Okay, they're keeping track of life because I can't tell where that tower's at, so I'm not gonna keep track of life this match. Julio's got it right there on his phone. Oh, he's gonna XYZ summon. Is there a rank 2 spellcaster he can summon? There's got to be one, right? No, not Gotchi. Oh, he does go for Gotchi. What? Say he's got Spellbook of Life and passes. Yeah, this is not looking too good for Tyler. Maybe Tyler, from what I told, he actually didn't play. He started playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Right after Hat format, so I don't know how familiar he is with this format. Julio, on the other hand, I was actually surprised he was playing Hat, but he said he just had an Evilswarm deck that he never got rid of from 2014, and he showed up to the locals and has done pretty well. Last time he was on the channel, he made top 4. All right, so now Tyler sets one. Yeah, I don't like that Starhawk card. When I played Spellbooks, because I played Spellbooks, like I said, I played Spellbooks during Ravine Ruler format, and yeah, Starhawk was good with Judgment Day, and it was good in the mirror match. So yeah, now Julio draws, attacks him, and then here he Phoenix Chain Thunderbird, but he could just chain a Thunderbird, right? Yeah. Oh, chain another Phoenix Chain. Okay. What does he have? Compulse? Okay, chains Compulse. So both those Phoenix Chains are now dead. Okay, yeah. What do you use the breakthrough skill on? Oh, he used the breakthrough skill on the Gotchi, the graveyard effect of breakthrough skill to banish. So yeah, breakthrough skill during your turn, you can banish it from your graveyard, negate a face of monsters effect. You can use it like a quick effect. Like let's say you're playing against artifacts and they like activate Sanctum during your turn and then trigger Moral Tax effect to destroy any face-up card you control. You can chain breakthrough skill to the Moral Tax effect. It's a good card. That's why people like it over Phoenix Chain, because you can use it twice essentially. So yeah, he's just gonna keep banishing the Thunderbird. Yeah, this is not looking good for Tyler. I think this game's over. He drew Max C2. He needs Spellbook of Tower. Like, this deck, Spellbooks win by abusing Spellbook of Tower. Yep, he had to set the Max C. I've said this in previous years. I don't know about Max C. I'm not a... Like, I see it more as a side card. I don't like it in the main deck, but a lot of people are main decking it. So, oh, he drew another Max C. Because a lot of times just a 1-for-1 against most decks. Yeah, if you get paired against, like, some decks, it doesn't even win you the game. It just, like, slows them down at times. So here he summons Evilswarm Korekion. And then special summons... I forgot this card. I think that card you can just special summon it from your hand. What was this card's name? It's Kag... something. Oh, it's right here. Kage Tokage. Cannot be normal summoner set. Must first be special summoned by its own effect. When you normal summon a level 4 monster, you can special this card from your hand. Cannot be used as a synchro material monster. Reptile Dark Monster. So Julio takes game 1. Here, round 1. Now this was not... Some of you guys may have watched the previous tournament was 36 players. But this was on a Wednesday night, and our Wednesday tournaments tend to be smaller than our Saturday night tournaments. So we only had like 16 players. Still decent size. Alright, so again, we already explained Spellbook of Crescent. He reveals 3, is going to randomly add one to the hand, the others go to the deck. And he can't have no other spellbook, basically you can't have any other spell cards in your graveyard. And you can't activate any spellbook. You can only activate spellbook spell cards that turn. So that's why that card always contradicted with Pot of Duality. That's one reason why I didn't like Pot of Duality when I ran this deck. Okay, so here... Tyler's going to special summon Priestess High Priest is level 7 spellcaster. You can reveal 3 spellbook spell cards from your hand to special summon it. And once per turn, you can banish 1 spellbook spell card from your grave to destroy any card on the field. And he activated Star Hall. Now, Secrets, Masters. Okay, so he activates Secrets to search Masters. Masters, reveal. He has a spellcaster from the field, so he can reveal Secrets from his hand. To copy Secrets' effect, to search Fate. The reason you do this is just to get 3 in the graveyard for Fate, because Fate is one of the best cards in this deck. I mean, it's limited to 1 for a reason. So, just as a prophecy, I think if you activated a spellbook spell card this turn, you can banish it during your end phase to add a spellbook monster and a spellbook spell card from your deck. I'm pretty sure that's what it does. Yeah, so he banishes it. He's going to search a... Let's see what he decides to search. Eternity and... I believe a monster. Yes, he searches another priestess. So yeah, this is... I don't like the Star Hall, but this is a pretty intimidating field. I mean, High Priestess is a really good card. It's like for those who play Tengu format, it's kind of like a Master Hyperion or a Dark Arm, except you can only do it, once. Maybe Dark Arm will be a little bit more balanced if you can only do it once per turn. Yeah, imagine that if in Edison you could only use Dark Arm once per turn. Or Judgment Dragon, for that matter. Alright. I hope I'm explaining these cards. I'm not, like if I sit down and play, I know all the cards, but it's harder to, in a video to explain exactly what they do, because there's some things that I might miss. This is just me going off memory. Alright, so he special summons Mandragora. It's an Evilswarm. Like, you can just special summon like a Cyber Dragon if your opponent controls more monsters than you do. And then he normal summons the vanilla monster, banishes all 3 spellbook cards, and he chains Pandemic. So Pandemic makes all your Evilswarms unaffected by spells and traps. Let me look up this Pandemic card. Actually, I've had Julio a few times on the channel, but I don't even know what it does. Okay. It says, all face-up Ice Swarm monsters you currently control are unaffected by other spell and trap effects this turn. So here he Phoenix Chains the Ragna Zero. Okay, Ragna Zero destroys... Okay, it's been a while. So the reason Ragna Zero is good is because he has the spellbook, that Star Hall, on the field. So Ragna Zero says... Once returned during either player's turn, you can attach 1 material from this card and turn 1 face-up attack position monster your opponent controls whose current attack is different from its original attack, destroying if you do draw 1 card. So I'm wondering, should Tyler have just held the Fate and let Julio XYZ summon? But maybe he was afraid of Exciton Knight. Yeah, maybe he was afraid of Exciton Knight. So I mean, he was gonna get Exciton Knight anyway. So here, Tyler activates Spellbook of Secrets. So Spellbook of Secrets, you add 1 banished spellbook card. And here, he activates Masters, which, if you have a spellcaster, you reveal another spellbook card, copy 1's effect that's in the grave, so he copied Eternity to grab back the Fate that was banished. Then he plays Secrets, summons Blue Boy, searches... He has another Priestess in his hand, so can he finish him off right now? See, sometimes the life points don't really matter. Oh, he searches Tower. Yeah, you got to get that Tower ASAP. That card is just... Okay, he MSTs the, what is this? I think it's the Evilswarm trap card. I guess he chains it. Like I forgot exactly what it does. It's like you return 1 from your hand to the deck and then search 1. I think that's what it does. He searches the caster, which, that one just gives you an additional, when it's normal summon, you get an additional normal summon for another Evilswarm monster. Let's see what Tyler does in his debut with a deck that I think everyone can agree with this. Decks that you had success with, you tend to have like an emotional bond to them. So like Spellbooks is one deck that I topped the first ARG Circus series with it. So I have like, I really love watching this deck. I kind of want to play it, but I just don't think it's that good. Same thing with Mermails. Okay, so he ends on what? We know he has Fate face down. So Tyler and I actually played in the previous tournament, and I beat him because I would like put my Mount Sylvania on top of his Spellbook Tower. Because back then in HAP format, you can both players can only control one field spell, and me putting my Sylvania makes the tower miss timing. So yeah, that's why the field spells that's something that should have been a part of the game from the beginning. It should have been both players can control a field spell, because it really hurts a lot of decks. Okay, here comes Evilswarm Caster, normal summon Evilswarm Kirkion. So he activates Kirkion's effect. So Kirkion, you banish one Evilswarm monster from your graveyard, add another one to your hand, and you get an additional normal summon that turn. So here he gets 3 normal summons. But I think Kirkion, like, Caster only activates when it's normal summon. Or Kirkion, sorry. I'm just so used to calling it Kirkion, because that's what people called it at my locals. I don't even know how to spell this card, man. So he goes for Evilswarm Exciton Knight. So Evilswarm Exciton Knight, he chains Fate. So, yeah, he couldn't stop this because he had 3 monsters on the field. So Exciton Knight, I guess he could have maybe stopped Kirkion as soon as it hit the field. I forgot how to spell this. So yeah, Exciton Knight is once per chain. If your opponent controls more total cards in their hand and field than you do, destroy all other cards on the field. You cannot. Yeah, your opponent takes no further battle damage for the rest of his turn. And you can only use it during your main phase or your opponent's battle phase. So I'm guessing he's activating Star Hall and Tower. Okay. So yeah, Star Hall and Tower have effects when they're sent to the graveyard. So I'm guessing he's going to search. I think one of them special summons and the other one adds to hand. So and then he used Spellbook of Fate, banished 3 spells from his graveyard to get rid of the Exciton Knight, and then Julio's just left with 1 back row. And here comes Blue Boy. Okay, yeah, he special summoned Justice of Prophecy, I'm guessing with the Tower. Hold up. I'm looking up Kirkion. I forgot its effect. I forgot how to spell it. Oh, it's Kery. Okay, so yeah, I think Kirkion doesn't activate. Yeah, Kirkion, he could have just faded the Kirkion and he wouldn't have gotten Exciton Knighted. But maybe you were afraid of the him having the Pandemic spell in his hand, but he already used. No, that was game 1 when he used it. Yeah, maybe you were afraid of the Pandemic spell. All right, so he's attacking. Okay. We cannot see the life points. Checking his banish pile. Adds Spellbook of Eternity. Okay, so he attacked with both, and then end phase, banished Justice to add a Spellbook spell card. Let me refresh my memory on Justice of Prophecy. Justice of Prophecy, yes. During end phase, if you activate a Spellbook spell card previously this turn, you can banish this card from the field, add 1 level 5 or higher light or dark spellcaster type monster, and 1 Spellbook spell card from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect of Justice of Prophecy once per turn. Alright, so we are going to game 3. Julio's got the light points right there. So, it starts out by normal summoning Caster, which, when it's normal summon, gives you an extra normal. Normal summons another Caster, XYZ summons or Exceed summons Evilswarm Ophion. You can attach one material, add an Evilswarm spell or trap card to your hand. So he adds the Pandemic spell, which I think all Evilswarm monsters you control are unaffected by spell and traps for the rest of the turn. Quick play spell, really good card. Makes Ophion just hard to deal with. So now he sets 4. Yeah, both at 8,000. So who's going to move on with a round 1 win? Will Tyler pull off the backdoor 2-0, or will Julio move on to round 2? So Blue Boy searches secrets, Spellbook of Secrets. Okay, he has Crescent in his hand, so he activates Crescent. So we already explained Crescent. Reveals 3. Randomly adds 1 to the hand. The rest gets shuffled. You have to have no other spell cards in your graveyard, and you can't activate non spellbook spell cards for like that turn. I remember that clearly because I remember when I lost in the top 16 of the very first ARG Circuit Series, I had that contradiction with Pot of Duality versus Crescent, so I had to make a choice to either Crescent or Duality. All right, so he got Towers off the Crescent. Activate Secrets. So the good news is, let's say Tyler tries to use Spellbook of Fate on Julio. Since Spellbook of Fate doesn't target, and let's say Julio changed the Pandemic spell, Tyler will be able to not target, but banish another card. So he'll be like Response. He'll go Fate, Response. He'll chain the spell card, and then you can just banish something else. All right, so he activates Tower after activating Master and sets 4 and passes. Come on, Royal Decree. Ooh, Blind MST. So actually, with MST, you're supposed to hold it. If I remember correctly, you're supposed to wait for them when they go draw phase, activate Spellbook of Tower's effect to return a Spellbook card in your graveyard to the bottom of your deck and you draw one. But if you chain MST in the draw phase, I believe it makes it miss timing. Alright, so here he normal summons Evilswarm Caster. Attacks for 2550. Activates Spellbook of Fate. Banish 2. So, yeah, Spellbook of Fate has 3 effects depending on how many Spellbook spell cards you banish. If you banish 2, it's kind of like a Book of Moon. But you can Book of Moon your own monsters as well. Versus the banish effect, you can't banish your own cards. And if you do 1, you can like return a set card, I think. Alright, so he chains Pandemic. Okay, so this is why he did it. He chained he knew he was going to chain Pandemic, so he decided, okay, instead I'm just going to reset my Blue Boy so that I can Blue Boy activates whenever it's normal summon or flipped. So since he set the Blue Boy, he was able to search the Spellbook of Secrets thanks to Blue Boy's effect. Alright, passes. Julio, where's the life points, man? So here comes, like I said here, he could have held the MST, which I think is really important against spellbooks, because that's how they beat you. They beat you with Tower. Just slowly gaining a +1 every turn. And, you know, recycling their spellbooks. That's how I was able to beat Tyler when he and I played the week before, because I would just put my Sylvania on top of his Tower for free. I would get rid of it for free and make him miss timing. Like, I think both games I won. That and, you know, the help of Soul Charge. It was both. But maybe, I think there was one game I think he could have fought out of it had I not gotten, I think it was game 1. Yeah, I think game 1, like, was pretty close, but just me getting rid of his, because getting rid of his Tower hurt him really bad. So yeah, spellbooks are kind of repetitive. They do the same thing every turn, like Secrets, Masters. So I'm not going to explain them every time he does the same thing. But like I said, I do love this deck. Actually, there's a deck profile from that ARG Circuit Series. If you guys want to go find it. Because Los and I both topped that ARG, the Sheriff Los, and we kind of use a similar deck. We did the deck profile together. If you guys want to go look for it, ARG Circuit Series Fort Worth. 2013 top 16 spellbooks. I think our decks were like 3 cards different. All right, so he uses Fate again to try to book something, and he resets his Blue Boy. So he's gonna search, but what is this accomplishing? He needs to draw like a monster that can deal with this field. Like he needs either a Justice or a Priestess would be really nice. But yeah, this is not looking good for Tyler. That's what I was saying. If Julio probably should have just held that MST and just out of the... Most of the time, spellbook players play 2 towers, but at least you get rid of one of them and force him to search the second one. And then if you can MST the second one, it's like I said, he's trying to dig into his deck for a spellbook of... Yeah, oh, there we go. See, he drew into the Priestess. But the good news is he can't special summon Priestess because Julio's got Evilswarm Ophion. So Evilswarm Ophion, as long as it has a XYZ material, you can't special summon level 5 or higher monsters. I think that's what Ophion does. So at least he can stop. But like, if maybe he cited in Chalice or a way to out the Ophion. Yes, while this card has XYZ materials, level 5 or higher monsters cannot be special summoned. Maybe maybe people should side the hands against Evilswarm. If you have a bad Evilswarm matchup, it looks like he just gets Julio gets wrecked by fire and ice hand. Maybe Julio should side in cards to stop the hands like Deep Fissure, Macrocosmos, Soul Drain, anything. Because it looks like his deck just gets just obliterated by the hands. So here Julio warnings the blue boy. Passes to Julio. How many cards? Yeah, but Tyler's got a lot of cards. That Ophion having the XYZ materials is probably keeping Julio in this game. Because let's say that was any other rank 4. If he could bring out the Priestess, I think, this might be a mistake. Yep, this might be a mistake because maybe he's going for game. I can't see life points, so. Normal summons Thunderbird. Attacks with Thunderbird. So Tyler knows he's got the pandemic spell in his graveyard. Okay, we can kind of see the life points, but he put it on the edge of the table. No. Ooh, Tyler's got life points. Yeah, get it. Help us out here, Tyler. And Edison, I can multitask and do both, but in Hat's a little harder. So he's probably gonna chain the pandemic spell. I mean, you're not afraid of fate. He already used fate, right? So it looks like he's gonna book the caster, I think, and well, Julio used the pandemic. I think the thing is, I think Julio wants to XYZ summon another Ophion. Oh yeah. Oh, that might have been a mistake. Maybe you. Yeah, I think Julio wants to XYZ summon another Ophion. So maybe you're better off booking the caster there because at least you can still bring out the Priestess since the Ophion has no materials. I think had Tyler gone for the caster, Julio would have used the pandemic for sure. All right, let's see. Because like Julio knows, your monsters are all, you have Blue Boys and Justice are probably like the only monsters he plays. So this deck really needs High Priestess. Like Tyler's up on cards. He got what, 7 cards? He's gonna draw to 9 cards next turn. How many does Julio have? 6, but the Ophion is just shutting him out completely. Oh, he's playing World of Prophecy. Oh, I didn't know. That card's a brick. I played that card in my deck too. It's a huge brick. Draws. So it's not looking good for Tyler. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Julio's going to win this game. He's got 4 back rows. Yeah, see, I could tell Tyler's just not familiar with Evilswarm. He told me he didn't start playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Until after Hat. Like, right after Hat. I mean, it happens. You have to learn the format. My friend Randy, same thing. He didn't play during Hat format, so he kind of struggled. He's kind of struggling a little bit. But he knows, like, some of the cards. He knows, like, Dragon Rulers, Mermails, Girgia. But he didn't know, like, the artifacts and the hands. Like, my friend Randy knows spellbooks. He knows Evilswarm. Alright, so he searches Spellbook of Life. Let me refresh my memory on Spellbook of Life. Is he even going to use it? Okay. That card I don't remember. I remember the name. So Spellbook of Life says, banish 1 spellcaster type monster from your graveyard and reveal 1 other spellbook spell card in your hand to target 1 spellcaster type monster in your graveyard. Special summon that target in a face-up attack position. No, he already messed up. The equipped monster level is increased by the level of the monster that was banished by this card's effect. You can activate 1 spellbook of life per turn. So he mirror forces and activates pandemic. So there's this running joke at my locals that almost every match since we started doing Hat, someone has made an illegal move. And there we have another illegal move. The streak continues. Anyways, I tried my best to explain the cards. Let me know if I missed anything in the comments, guys, because you know, I'm still new to Hat as far as like commenting Hat. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll be back soon for the rest of the tournament. Bye, guys.